Okay, I think we're back on. Has the YouTube come back on? Has the YouTube come back yet?
Not yet. There it is.
Ah, that's
Okay,
good.
YouTube's back.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Sorry,
completely
guys.
back now.
All
Back on
right.
Twitch, back on YouTube.
Hopefully this is good. So Kalinana is our current reigning Probots champion. So as has just been pointed out, so definitely one of the favourites for this tournament. Tom tests a new bot, but actually very active author within our Discord, and definitely very excited to see what it's capable of. So if it's good with you, let's get into it.
Hey, Tom Test. Kalinana.
We are live.
Okay, let's up again. All right, so spawning in the top left, we have the Probots champion. It is Kalinana, the red Zerg. And in the bottom right, we have in his first tournament, Tom Test, the blue Terran. So, Kalinana has been vulnerable to cheese in the past. And I'm going to guess, having not seen Tom Test, that he might be an aggressive bot. Usually new bots get some pretty good results by being aggressive, so...
Yeah,
this isn't over, I would say. Even though he's a Pro Bots champion, there might be some holes that Tom Test can find.
There may just be, I mean, games can be decided as simple as something as a map as well. Like that can very well affect which bot wins. So yeah, we'll see. Tom Test does go for a fairly straightforward bio push, and as you said, it's a new bot, but it has done incredibly well. Not sure where it is on the ladder right now, but it made it within the top 10 just off of this one sort of build and strategy. And so it's rather finely tuned and everything. But we shall see whether Tom can cause the upset or not.
Yeah, 2 racks, 1 gas. That's going to spend his money well. He does have room for the add-ons as well, by his structure placement. So that's what. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be like a pretty well structured opening build, and then maybe get some pressure off of that. Orbital is on the way now. That'll help always, you know. About 225 minerals per mule, so that's what, 4.5 Marines. Kalinana, meanwhile, just kind of scouting his side of the map for proxies. Overlord making his way across the map, and we'll be seeing that reactor on the barracks. Zergling being active. He'll be arriving in the base in a moment to get some scouting. Let's see if Tom Test shuts the door on him. Actually, with 2 Marines, I don't think that Zergling will get far anyways.
Yeah, Kalinana scouting out, seeing that it is a 1 base that it's up against. And Roach Warren on the way. Kalinana is a bot that opens rather safely for the most part, as it tends to go for that. Well, it always opens up with a pool early on. Roach Warren on the way. Tom
and
Test.
Burrow. The combination of Roaches and Burrow is very, very strong in the early game. So
it is so darn strong. And we'll see whether Tom Test can potentially overcome that. But it is something that may be difficult. However, Tom Test is getting +1 on its bio, so it's going to have a lot of bio, a lot of firepower early on. And yeah.
Yeah, just looking at the timings here, like it looks like +1 will finish around the same time as Burrow. Trying to think of when the Tom Test's best time to push out would be. I don't think he can wait for Stim. Spine Crawl on the way though. Kalinana is very aware that he is facing 1 base Terran, and he's taking a very late third. He's gotten the Roach Warren early. He's gotten in a safety spine, 2 safety spines, 3 safety spines. So yeah, he's taking this very seriously.
Yeah, Kalinana has got a very well-programmed response to this. Spines plus roaches is not going to be an easy thing for Tom Test to overcome, as it is getting ready to march on out. I think that will be fairly soon, as +1 is going to complete soon. Combat Shield, not far off either. Cannon though, like, it is responding to this perfectly. It's almost like it may have lost a game or two against it before.
But honestly, there was actually some more time for Tom Test. He didn't have to push out because Canyon was responding so hard that he was still basically on just one base economy himself. 3 hatcheries, but I think he only had like 3 drones that were mining outside of his main base.
That is something that Cannon sometimes has what is considered a weakness. How hard it goes into the defense and stuff, so it can reach that late game stage. But in this case, I think it absolutely is the right call. We do have roaches on the way. Burrow's done, I believe. Lings are moving out for Cannon. It doesn't want to lose those before the engagement. Tom Test has got +1, combat shield done, as it marches forward into the spine crawlers. But there's transfuse going down. Looks like one spine goes down, second spine goes down. Tom Test is fanning out, cutting into the Lings. However, the roaches, they do simply burrow to stay alive. We've got concussive shell and +1 armor on the way now for Tom Test, so it does have further tech coming. And as far as engagements go, like, I've seen Tom Test just lose all its units right out the gate, so it's still got quite a few out. Reinforcement should be coming at some point, and it does kill the spine. Tom Test is pushing into the natural, but there's the burrowed roaches getting out efficiency as they burrow, take damage. Yeah, Cannon.
I love that fanning out from the Tom Test. He's like, quick work of the Zerglings.
It's got very good micro as far as pushing in and stuff goes.
I wonder if he started on the micro arena as a bot and then moved over here later.
Maybe it did. We can definitely check out the author's page to see if they've got any entries on that. But as you can see, burrowed roaches are very good for bot authors. Cannonana's response was incredibly well done to this, and this is one of the builds from a bot that if it doesn't succeed the first time, the odds of the follow-up is not very likely. I will say, though, I really do like the follow-ups that Tom Test goes for. Like, it doesn't just keep feeding in a Marine, a Marauder, a Marine, a Marauder one by one. It actually pools up its units and goes for a second attempt. Now it's going to have +1 armor. It's still got a rather good army supply. It's only 4 off of what Cannonana has with a big upgrade lead, but the problem is that it will be facing those burrowed roaches once again.
Yeah, that's the... Maybe if you get enough firepower to kill the roach as it's burrowing, but if you don't get to that firepower, it's just kind of like infinite damage from those roaches that never die.
Yeah. Now,
I love the defense with
Tom
Cannonana at the start there, though, because I noticed as soon as he stepped on creep, Cannonana pulled his queens back behind his spine crawlers from his third base.
Yeah.
Nice little detail there.
It was a very, very fine-tuned response. Looks like Tom Test may get the natural base of Cannonana, so like it is getting damage done, but here's the roaches and queens on the ramp. Tom Test is probably going to try and go up that ramp. We shall see. It kills the queens, kills the lings. The roaches remain a problem, but maybe Tom Test can get, say, this lair, and that could put it in a potential game-winning situation. I believe a roach died there before it could burrow. Evo Chamber does die as well. We do have a scan from Tom Test, cleaning up some creep, killing off some of these units. Eventually that scan will run out, but it is gobbling up a lot of these units for Cannonana. Drone attempting to rebuild the Evo Chamber is just getting shut down, and like Tom Test still has a large amount of bio. It's working away on this natural base. Despite Cannonana's great defense at the start, this is looking very dicey. The Zerg loses its hatchery, does not have the money to replace it. Tom Test is now going for the rest of the buildings. Is Tom Test going to win this game?
I think he's going to win by elimination. Who cares about roaches if you have no structures? Like, those are going to burn down on their own, actually.
Yeah, there's no creep either. Tom Test wins. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Incredible.
I've legitimately casted a game in which, like, it was sort of the same thing. Hard smackdown by Cannonana at the start, and then it wins. But Tom Test's follow-up push got it done. Really well done.
What an amazing performance by Tom Test there. That was a crazy push. Like, you know, you get those burrowed roaches, you think you're kind of safe, but no, just run through, take the structures. What an amazing performance there.
That is the That is why Tom Test was able to get so high on the ladder. It can take down even the best bots with that strategy. And yeah, really, really well done. Like, I honestly thought throughout that whole match, like, I thought Canon Anna's bot author had solved Tom Test because I've seen games in which the attack failed. But things as simple as the map can affect the outcomes of these games, and the micro of Tom Test is really well. Just
Yeah, it's a
great.
really good micro on them for both bots actually. But yeah, the second attack, I think Kanyanana just didn't think it had enough units to engage, so it never engaged. And the problem is if you don't engage, you don't get to take advantage of that roach healing. You really want to attack and then get some damage done, and then burrow, then attack again, and then. But if you're just always sitting back, and then Tom Test, like I think he was attacking the layer before Kanyanana finally shot in to attack. And during that time, he was also bleeding Zerglings that were getting a little too close. So
that is
that's
a bit
rough.
of a weakness of Kananana sometimes. Like, sometimes it will have at least the makings of a defense, like have enough units that it could take a fight, but it does tend to just retreat too much sometimes. And it definitely fell a little bit victim of that.
In general, I find that code to be very powerful though for Kanyanana. I've seen him in like ZVPs where he'll like just back up until he has enough army, and then just overwhelm the Protoss. And he'll do that fight after fight, always deciding perfectly when to attack and when he needs to build up more army. But I guess
absolutely.
when you apply that code to the very beginning of the game, those calculations might not work correctly, and then when you're trying to factor in roach healing, that might not even be part of the calculation. So
yeah, it does work out quite, like the programming for Kananana works out quite well most of the time during those situations, but when it doesn't, it unfortunately does look a little goofy in the sense that it just retreats until it dies.
As a human player, sometimes you look at it, it's just like, just a move, it'd be so much better than what you're doing right now.
If only it were that simple to program your bot to do that, right?
Just a move everything. It's my normal strategy when I play StarCraft 2. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So there 6 down, 2 to go. Next up we have Xena versus 12 pool bot.
Xena is our random bot, the only random bot in the tournament this time. We've had a couple, and placed very highly on the ladder, a 3rd place seed, so should be very interesting to watch.
So today we've had a bunch of games that have been like, someone cheesing and someone defending. I think what we might get today is 2 people choosing each other at the same time. So
yes. It'll be fun to watch.
I did see this matchup and I was definitely excited for it as Xena, just madness, 12 pool bot. All you need to know is the name.
We also have someone else popping up to watch the stream, don't we? Sorry.
I couldn't even see him through your shirt. It's just like same color.
Same color as the shirt, yeah. She generally tends
like,
to...
are you rubbing your own chest and talking about your chest watching the stream?
Yes, I have eyes in my chest, mate. Eyes in my chest. Oh, okay, all right, I'm not going to...
He's watching the stream.
Oh, she's scared off now. It's fine. All right, I'll set that and get us going.
Yeah. 12 full bot, I think, is another bot that hasn't been updated for a while. Right. He's reached his maximum, right? When your name is 12 full bot, there's only so far you can go with it. But Xena is one of those bots that has some... Xena does some things, I think, better than any other bot. I've watched some of his like post-bot episodes where he discusses some of the complex things his bot is capable of doing. It's just pretty insane. Unfortunately, like the strategies and builds and the basics of Xena is sometimes lacking, so which is why he usually gets more success with cheesy builds than the later game macro builds. So I think we'll see cheese versus cheese. We've actually gone into the stream, but I didn't even notice. All right, spawning in the top left, we have the red Zerg Xena. The random bots who spawned as Zerg, so it's going to be a ZVZ. And in the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg 12 pool bot. With the pool down, surprise, surprise. Probably on 12.
Okay, so cheese versus cheese.
Yeah, 12 pool bots pool actually finishing after Xena. Who would have thought? Does that mean Xena's like 11 pool somehow? Even though it's not even possible?
Speed mining, is that why? Or no? I don't think it does.
It's probably the speed mining or just the placement of the structure. You got down low quicker.
Okay, it does. Yeah, just a little quicker. And notably, 12 Pool Bot does have speed on the way, or it will once it reaches the 100 gas. Xena is just foregoing that gas entirely. So, well, should have more lings, but oh, there we go.
Oh.
Drones pulled.
Okay,
This is going to be very wacky, as the lings will meet in the middle of the map. That's
if they meet, I think
gonna
that'll be great
stay.
for Xena. If they pass each other, then who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, I don't know, because like it's not mining at all. So the longer that this goes on, the better it is. As 12 Poolbot refuses to engage, which is good for it. Ling for ling does lose a couple of lings, but producing more lings behind this. Doesn't have a queen, I don't believe, or does it back at home to defend? I'm not sure. Anyway, it does have a queen, and it does throw up a hatchery, which is not ideal in this sort of chaotic circumstance, but at the same time, the hatchery could potentially buy it more time. Xena is not making any more lings behind this. The longer this goes on, the better it is for 12 Poolbot.
Yeah, and that hatchery actually paying for itself now, as it's working as a great distraction. 6 lings on the way for 12 Poolbot. I mean, this is just getting worse and worse for Xena. He needs to really get in on that mineral line ASAP before he gets before he loses the unit count lead. I do like the drone micro there. I can see that they're actually mineral walking back between shots, which is allowing them to get a lot of extra damage.
It really is incredible. And now 12 Poolbot is having its spawning pool be attacked. The queen gets surrounded and killed. 8 more lings are being produced for 12 Poolbot. It's not pulling its own drones into the fight. However, it does have ling speed, which might mess with the micro of Xena a little bit. We do have drones now fighting for 12 Poolbot, which is very important, grouped up with the lings as well. And it seems Xena is getting cleaned out by these speedlings. There's like 5 drones left for Xena.
But the new wave arrives. What do we got here?
Yeah, more lings coming on in. This is so
He was
close.
able to build all this off of one drone at home. Just when you thought you survived.
Yeah, there is no surviving against Xena, it seems, as 12 Poolbot is running out of units. It has produced another queen. And another round of lings does finish up for 12 Poolbot. The queen is doing what it can. Xena is hunting down the last few drones of 12 Poolbot. 12 Poolbot has 2 drones. No drones left. So, one actually just popped out, pardon me. And the queen is trying to clean this up, but that drone, if it dies, that is it for 12 Poolbot, but it does stay alive.
Yeah, however, I'm watching the production tab, and Xena's been building non-stop drones during this entire time, so I think Xena's already transitioned.
Oh, and then the queen, it injects and actually gets killed.
So there's one link to win it all?
Yeah, I believe so. What a ridiculous match.
I thought Truffle might have had that. He was buying so much time. Like every moment that went on, Xena had 1 drone mining, while 12 Poolbot had at least 12 drones mining. So I thought he would have been able to pull up enough lings at home to survive eventually.
12 Poolbot will eventually have enough money to make a round of lings or a drone. So we'll see what it does. The answer is another drone, which is unfortunate because that means its hatchery may get killed by this one ling.
I actually like the choice of the drone because this ling does not look like it's interested, and you probably got like 3 minutes before that hatchery goes down. So build like 2 or 3 drones, then get his wave of zerglings out. I think.
Yeah, we'll see how many drones it's trying to get up to, though.
Unfortunately, as I look at the minimap, though, the time might be over for 12 Poolbots.
Yeah, here come the finishers as more lings cross the map. 12 Poolbot, it played a very close game. In the end, Xena is just like, its drone micro and ling micro is so darn good. You can really just look at the outcome. I'd be curious to see the units lost tab if we can pull that up. Yeah, 12 Poolbot lost way, way more. And here come in the lings attacking the hatchery. Now gonna go for the drones.
And that should do it.
That should be it. Well done, Xena.
You know, for 2 bots that just made a bunch of lings and the game ended, this is about as exciting as that could actually get. Well, the game's not over. Xena's got to take a 3rd base first. Just in case. You never know if he has like 5 ninja bases or something.
12 Poolbot is binding again.
Really,
we will rebuild.
Need a 4th?
Hey, I cast a game the other day in which Xena just sat back and never attacked, so there's a chance.
We do get to see
But-
his creep spread because of this, though. He uses overlords to spread creep with, so they can actually spread it faster than if it's
Wow.
just with creep tumors.
Well, it's one of those things. The bot has unlimited potential with that. 12 pool bot has got Lings out and is actually fighting, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Xena on 90 workers. Yeah, Xena really is an incredible bot. Like, it is known for cheesing, and that's what it does most of the time. But like the games where we do see it actually build like well-rounded compositions and take multiple bases, I think it does quite well for the most part. So I do like to see it macro up, although it is just waiting to get the victory here. But it's not attacking.
when you try to play a macro game, like your first attempt at that, you'll notice your bot does something stupid that costs them the game, and then the next try, your bot does something else stupid that costs them the game. And I think Xena's just got to work out like those little stupid things that cost him the game a lot, because all the mechanics are there for his late game.
I definitely agree. Lings are trying to grab a queen as they run around a fungal to catch some of the lings. There we go. Xenos is attacking the natural, so it has had enough.
I don't think any of us would have guessed 2 minutes ago that we would have seen a fungal growth in this game.
No, I did not expect to see 200 supply, that's for sure.
It's purple map, though.
Very, very purple indeed. GG.
Well done.
GG, guys.
Another exciting one. This has been a
fun. Yeah.
good stream, I think.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, 12 pool bot definitely came with a lot of energy to that one. But Xena, generally like a really well-made bot, and yeah, 12 pool bot doesn't really have a lot of other strategies, does it? I mean, it's in the name.
No. Although I think it's another one of those bots that will transition to Muta just to finish up flying structures. So much like we saw in that Micro Machine versus Theo game. It does have that little Muta transition at the end.
Yeah, I really want to see like 12 pool bot just become like a hard macro bot just to confuse people. I think that would be really good. All right, so our last match of the night, we've made it all the way, and we now come to our #1 seed, the many people's favourite for the tournament, favourite for pretty much any tournament at the moment. It is Aries. Yeah, what more can you say about Aries, really?
Yeah. Aris or -0 probably the best two.
Yeah, definitely.
They're always going neck to neck with each other. Terrain is another bot I'm not too familiar with, or the AI in the middle of his name. I like it.
Yeah, good pun there.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Terrain, to be honest, or Terrain, or however he wants to pronounce it. It's from Vinta, relatively new bot, although it's been around like a little while. I think this is the first big tournament it's qualified for, so yeah, it should be a fun one. Not the easiest start to your tournament life, I have to say that.
Get the most painful match out of the way for starters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I am not familiar with Terrain at all, really. Powered by the Sharky framework.
All right, well.
Created in September, last update in October. So
that's good.
Got put on the ladder, and that was about it. And somehow still good enough to make it to the tournament, so that's impressive.
Yeah, no, really well done. All right, let's get into it. I will share the stream, 1 sec. All right, and we are going.
Okay, spawning in the top left, our multi-time champion. It is the #1 bot on the ladder, Aries, the red Zerg. And in the bottom right, we have Terrain, the blue Terran.
Okay, it's always fun to see a bot that we're not the most familiar with and see what kind of crazy strategies they may come out with. Terrain going for a gas out the gate, so we know it's not just a marine proxy bot, which is a good sign.
Yeah. Well, it is on the Sharpie framework, so it will have complexity. Well, it's pretty easy to make a complex bot, we'll say, with that framework. Hard to make a competitive bot, I'd say, but if you want to just build like a macro bot and as quickly as possible, I think the Sharpie framework is the way to go.
Yeah, those bots, like, it is quite a good framework. All the bots I've seen based off it, so.
Yeah, the way I kind of understand it, like the Aries framework for Python is like a really good toolkit to help you build the bot yourself. And then the Sharpie framework is more like we default in a lot of the functionality for you, which you can either use or you can implement your own.
Oh,
So there's a
okay.
lot of like, you know, if you want to make an investor, we'll use our default code and that'll micro the investor. But if you don't want to use the default code, then you can put in your own sort of micro for it. I think that's the way I understood it. I could be completely off. Whereas Aries framework is more like, we'll help you calculate where to throw fungals, and then you can decide when to throw fungal and why to throw fungal.
Okay.
But if you want to hit like center mass, yeah, we got a function for that. Find the best center mass.
Yeah.
But you're still making all the decisions on like when do you like cast these spells and stuff.
Okay, so Reaper on the way for terrain, then just a Marine behind it. Looks like a pretty standard Terran opening as it gets a command center on the low ground.
Yep, that 3 hatch opening out of Aries that we're so used to seeing. The combination of him being very good reactively to cheese as well as speed mining allows him to actually open very safely with 3 hatches.
Oh,
In fact,
yeah.
I've only ever seen
Crazy.
human players punish him for it.
Yeah, it's not something that Aries really ever gets punished. I believe it does have it programmed into it where it will cancel the 3rd hatchery if it scouts like some insane cheese, but it does get away with it like 99% of the time, it seems. And then it's just tough to keep up if you're a bot that takes even a slightly less greedy macro approach, because Aries, like, by the 5th minute and onwards, it's just got a ridiculous economy.
Yeah, Zerg's ability to make drones if they don't have to make army can actually accelerate their economy so fast, and that's one of the strengths of Zerg and one of the things that Aries really takes advantage of. I have actually seen Tyr punish it before, where you'll get like a bunch of Hellions and just go in and like actually absolutely wreck the drone line.
I have seen that as well.
Usually I think Aries comes back to win anyways, but Tyr definitely does punish the 3 hatch opener with that. Okay, so fairly standard time expansion out of terrain, starting to add on the worker count over there. Got a nice little tech himself with a starport complete, siege tank. Pretty good defense here. Trying to chase down that speedling, that will never actually work. But good luck to you.
How far is it going to try and chase that? As those Marines and tank path back and forth. Aries constantly leashing those units. We'll see if that comes into effect if terrain potentially goes for a move out. This is one of the...
Yeah, it is incredibly hard for my bot to chase down a Zergling with a Hellion, let alone not upgrade a Marine.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, you can, if you are, as a bot author, want to program things to mess with the opponent's AI, it's fairly easy to do. Well, not fairly easy to do, but it's a valid strategy you can program. Like, these Lings, they get information for Aries, but on lesser bots, it absolutely would pull units all the way across the map chasing one Ling if they don't have some sort of leashing behavior programmed.
And in theory, nothing should ever be able to catch a Zergling in the ground, and nothing should ever be able to catch a Phoenix in the air.
Nope.
Because they're just faster and everything else.
Viking out for terrain, as it will get its 2nd Overlord kill. However, Aries is already up to 57 workers, so replacing that shouldn't be too bad. We did have a scan go down for terrain at the 3rd to kill that Burrowed Ling, which is cool to see if it does ever attempt to take a 3rd base. Might want to do so quickly, though, because Aries probably will try and plant another Ling, as it so often does. But for now, the Terran bot is going to move out for an attack, and this could be a very pivotal decision, or pivotal moment, as It's one of those things. It's like if Aries survives another minute, it's going to be a maxed out or something. So it it
He was
definitely
chasing
puts
his
the pressure.
Zergling though, as you said. Yeah.
Oh, and there we have Aris with its lings out on the map, able to get us around on one of the tanks, does not commit to this round on the second, possibly too much supply or not enough lings to make that happen. Terrain is on creep right now, however, it's pulling back for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Is it because of the ling or the overseer? Tough to say. Marines are stimming after that overseer. Terrain drops a scan as well. I have liked its scan behavior. Unfortunately, that tank does get surrounded and will be a second siege tank kill for Aris. Bio-stimming forward for Terrain into the lings is not ideal. The tank having a hard time targeting on those lings. There is more bio behind this to force the lings off the tank, but then roaches come in for Aris. Terrain drops a scan again, but it's not exactly easy to kill Aris off, and Terrain has had a hard time pushing forward.
Yeah, I have seen Aris struggle against early game siege tanks, where it either commits into the tanks and loses everything, or it refuses to commit into the tanks, and that could be trouble for him. But Terrain
Yeah,
just got split and pulled in every direction, and then these tanks are just kind of caught on their own and easily surrounded by lings. So nice work on Aris for pulling the Terran apart. And now Aris just has a gigantic army lead, about double the army size.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's fairly predictable as far as Eris games go, just because the bot is so dominant. It's like if it doesn't get cheesed out, which rarely happens, then it's probably going to win in the macro game unless it's up against an extremely good late game bot, which there is few that can match Eris. And Terrain, trying to take a third base, is unable to do so due to another burrowed ling at that location, despite cleaning it out once, which I'm not sure if that was just a fluke or pre-programmed behavior. Terrain, yeah, is having a very rough time here.
Yeah, those Burrowlings are annoying, I gotta say.
They are a big programming hurdle for bot authors, from what I understand. As
It's something I have to go back and work on myself.
well, the standard approach for Terran seems to be just to build a Raven these days, right? And just have the Raven on the base or something.
Yeah, I mean, I cleared out with an auto turret, but the problem is, if he's constantly doing it, you don't have enough energy to always be using auto turrets.
Yeah.
I need to evolve other units in my calculation to clear those things out. Ooh, tank's getting surrounded once again and slaughtered.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is a bit of a slaughter. Eris maxed out 8 minutes into the game. Terrain trying to expand, but unable to. And unsurprisingly, the top bot shows us its dominance. And yeah, Terrain is unfortunately dead. Seems like a fairly well-rounded bot, Terrain, but just not quite the caliber of Eris.
But that is the advantage of that Sharpie framework. So it's not like you make a new bot and you're only making Marines. He's making medevacs and siege tanks and Ravens and Vikings. It's like pretty cool.
It's very cool to see. GG.
But the framework alone will definitely not beat Aris. That's for sure. You got to still put a lot of work in against that guy. What a murderer. All right.
Eris is just
that was the last one of the match.
Eris is just
Last
a crazy good
night.
bot, yeah. But well played by Terrain, actually. I was quite impressed. So yeah, we have 8 sort of like bots on 1 to 0. So if you aren't familiar with how we're doing this, we're doing a Swiss tournament. So we have essentially 8 bots on 1 to 0 and 8 bots on 0-1. And
So does that mean everyone's playing different opponents next week?
yes,
I'm not sure how the Swiss format works off the top of my head.
In fact, we have bunnies in a tin, which is how we're going to decide this. If you've never seen bunnies in a tin before.
Randomize.
Yes. Hold on. I think we can show it over here. So, second, wrong one. I'll just get this up. So, right.
Is there a deadline for when bot authors can put in updates for their bots?
The bots are currently locked. So this is the results. The bots are currently locked until the end of the Swiss stage, and then authors can put in updates at the end of the Swiss stage. So,
Okay.
yes, so we have pretty much Dominion Dog beating negative Sharpened Edge, -0, 1/1 test, and Benbot BC Ketrock, you won that one, and congratulations. Zozo 1-0 over Sharkbot, Micro Machine winning over Theo, Kaninana winning over Tom, oh no, losing to Tom Test, and Xena beating 12 Poolbot, and our last match was Aries beating Terrain, which means that draw 1, we have 8 bunnies in the tin, and those are the numbers that we see.
Okay.
One sec. So, hold on. See if we can get this up. So just to check, we have bunnies escaping. We have numbers 1, 3. Oh, I'm not sure we can see this on stream. You'll have to trust me that the 8 magic bunnies in this tin are all numbered 1 to 8, and we're going to
Okay.
we're going to see which ones face which ones next week. Our first matchup will be number 3. That is going to be Xena.
So Xena will be playing who exactly?
Let's check this out. Xena will be playing up against number 4. That's Micro
Okay. That's how
Machine.
it works.
Very
Okay,
cool.
okay.
So
Xena Micro Machine.
yeah.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
Hold on.
So just to confirm, then the bots that lost today will play against other bots that lost today
Yes.
next week.
Yeah. Right, I'll just
That's good.
write
That'll
that
make for
down.
more competitive matches. So next week could
Yes.
even be better than this week.
Yeah,
And this week was
exactly.
pretty good.
Yeah, the matches were all great for the most part. It was
Right.
yeah, it was
There's some
a
stomps,
great
but it wasn't
series.
like it wasn't all stomps, which is nice.
Okay, so our next one is number 7. So that's you. That's Ketrock.
Hey, there we
Playing
go.
out. Oh no, who are you gonna face? Up against. Oh no. I'm sorry. It's up against
Aries?
Aries. Yep.
All right, bring it on.
Well, we could have a great late game TVZ next week, so that's
Yep.
something to look forward to.
Okay.
I don't lose 100% of the time versus Aris on ladder.
So there's 4
I thought
bots
Squeakset
left.
wins if once in Blue Moon.
Next up is number 5. And we will go up against number 6. So that is Zozo up against Dominion Dog.
Okay, that'll be a
Sorry,
good match.
yes. Yeah, that's correct.
Dominion Dog might be one of the ones who could handle cheese, I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of in his wheelhouse.
Should be a fun one.
We'll find out.
So we've got 2 left. And up first is number 8, Tom Test. Oh god. Tom Test done so well this week. Rewarded with a matchup up against -0. A very, very tough one there for Tom Test.
I believe I've seen Tom Test beat -0, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always chance.
I honestly didn't.
Yeah, he crushes Terran because a lot of Terran bots play mech.
Yeah.
Tom Test with all this bio, that could be something -0 is not accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's
yeah. Tom Test took down Canonana, so anything is possible.
Yeah.
So that's our current one. I'll just put that up. So yeah, Xena Micro Machine, Ketrock versus Aris, Zozo Dominion Dog, and Tom Test versus -0. Next is the lower bracket, Karinana, Benbot BC, Sharpened Edge, and Sharkbot, Theo, 12 Pool Bot, and 1 Test. Right.
Yeah, we've got some, like, considering that's the loser bots, there's some incredible bots in there.
Yeah. So that's good. All right. So first out is number 1. That is Kaninana. And Kaninana will face off against number 6. And that will be 12 Pool Bot. So that's another tough another tough game.
Kaninana is just destined to be cheesed every game.
I kind of feel sorry for them, but yeah. And next up, we have number 7. That's going to be one test. And playing number 5, which is going to be Theo. Oh, Theo does so well up against Micro Machine. I like his chances up against one test, to be honest. So that will be a fun one.
Yeah, great matchups all around. So
Yeah.
I think that's the only bot I've ever seen do a bailing bust. All
Yeah.
in.
Mainlings don't really work too well against bots because they can evade them so often, but against buildings, they're still very effective.
Yeah, those bailings are just meant to bust a wall, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because on the open field, Zerglings beat everything at the start of the game. So
all right.
The key is to make the open field.
Next up is Benbot BC, number 2.
it's not going to be Benbot versus Canonana. Oh no,
No,
Canonana is
it can't.
against Baltimore. My mistake.
And
Okay.
up against number 3, that's Sharpened Edge.
Okay.
So that is that would have been bad. Benbot up against Canonana, I would have probably had to discipline the bunnies for that one. Right, and our last matchup is number 4, Sharkbot. And the only one we have left is
Who's
Terrain.
remaining? Terrain, okay.
Yes, so that's going to be... Alright, so that is our draw for the lower bracket. Yes, interesting matches there. I want to see Theo against one test. I'd like to see Theo get a win there. Not biased against one test, but doing so well today. So yeah.
That was an epic game. Win or lose, he made some good entertainment.
Yeah, but one that does stand out: Benbot BC versus Sharpened Edge.
Yeah, 2 of the OGs.
Yeah, should be a fun one.
Definitely so. We'll
All
see
right.
how Benbot does against Tempest Rushes.
Yeah. Well, bunnies are going back in their home until next week. And that's basically everything for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for being excellent casters. I apologize again for the slight technical issues, but we wouldn't be the SC2AI tournament without a few technical issues, right?
Of course not. And thank you so much for organizing it. And
yeah,
it's just been real fun.
And thanks everyone for
Awesome.
watching. We'll see you next week.